Hi, I'm Steve Elasnik, and I'm from Financing Solutions. I have 25 years of experience running various businesses over the last over that period of time. So today, what we're going to talk about is what's the difference between a business cash advance, a credit card advance, a line of credit, a bank line of credit, and a business loan. A cash advance is offered by basically alternative lenders, and alternative lenders have come about in the last 10 years in response to the market of the banks not lending money to small businesses anymore. When we're talking about small businesses, you'd be surprised, we're talking about like under $10 million in sales. So cash advances basically are a fixed amount of money that a alternative lender will provide to a small business, and that amount of money, let's say it's $10,000, $20,000, $100,000, is then paid back on a daily basis, a very small daily payment. It is very expensive. So to give you an example, if you were to borrow, let's say $50,000, your payback would be $75,000 typically. It could be a little less, it probably won't be more, but the key thing with the cash advance is that it's usually for people whose credit score is very poor, and poor would be less than 650, and probably has to be higher than 500. It's very fast to get a cash advance, and if you need it quickly and you're desperate, that's the way to go. For credit card advances, certainly you go with your credit card, you go to a bank and or maybe an ATM for a smaller amount. You go there and you can get a cash advance against your credit card. It's fast, it's easy, it's about a 30% APR interest per year, but you're not going to get a lot of money, and also you can forget about the movies where someone would get 15 credit cards. Credit cards all report now who they're approving for. And the bad thing about it too is that you can your credit score can really get hurt when you go out and take a lot of money out against your credit cards, because they're going to report it to the credit bureaus. Biggest problem when you're talking about credit card advances is the amount of money that you can get, which is typically very small. I mean, it could be $25,000, but you have to have a pretty good track record with your credit card companies in order to get that. A bank line of credit, certainly the cheapest way to go. In most cases, but you have to have collateral, and collateral is also known as security or secure line of credit. That means you have to have something that is going to back up that line of credit if you default. The other thing about a line of credit from a bank is that it just takes a really long time to get it in place. The amount of forms, the amount of paperwork, the amount of things that you have to submit makes it very, very challenging. I mean, expect a 3-month, if not longer, approval process. But it is the cheapest. The only problem with a bank line of credit that I personally have experienced is that there have been years when I didn't use it, but I know what the value is to have it there just in case, and I still had to pay for it. Also, every year you typically have to send new documents, and you can get turned down for the line of credit sometimes after a year. Another option is using an alternative line of credit. This is much better than a cash advance. A cash advance is very expensive. The bank line of credit is typically the cheapest, and alternative lending companies like mine, for example, have a line of credit. And these are typically for people who have greater than 650 credit scores. Now, just keep in mind, most banks for their line of credit are going to look for better than a 680 or 700 or better credit score. So an alternative lender's bank line of credit is I think one of the best options. I mean, I really believe in the product and that we sell, because I think everybody should have a line of credit. Ours doesn't cost anything to have in place. It doesn't cost anything to renew. If you're not using it, you're not being charged. It's cheaper than a cash advance, and it's pretty easy to get in place. A bank line of credit, an alternative lender's line of credit will typically take you about 48 to 78 hours to get in place. The last form of financing is a traditional bank loan. And a bank loan is differentiated between you get a fixed amount of money, let's say $100,000, and you're going to pay it back within 3 to 5 years. So you'll have a monthly payment or a bi-monthly payment. The advantage within a business loan, it's pretty inexpensive, but it again can take a really long time to get in place, especially if you're looking at SBA backing. So an SBA back means the government's going to back the bank if you default on your loan. So you better believe that's going to take a lot longer. And I certainly have seen clients of ours try to get SBA loans, but honestly, a lot of times they give up because it just takes so much paperwork to kind of get it in place. So really, I think it really comes down to two things when you're looking at what's best for your business. Number one is, what's your credit score? And nowadays you can get your credit score for free. You should definitely do that. I think if you go to Free Credit Report, or if you go to Karma, Credit Karma, I think it's called. Even your own bank now is reporting what your score is. You should really know that and do everything you can to get your credit score up, and try not to do things to get your credit score down, because it really affects your ability to get financing. The second thing is, do you have security? Because if you have security, which means like you have equity in your house, or you have commercial real estate, or if you have stocks, bonds, if you have a very large amount of accounts receivable in your business, then by all means go for a bank line of credit if you have 3 months to relax and wait. If not, the alternative lines of credit from companies like my company, Financing Solutions, is a great option. Even while you're applying to a bank for a line of credit, you can have a line of credit from an alternative lender in place, because it will not affect the decision that the bank's going to give you. All right, so I hope this is helpful. If you ever want to call me, if you have a question in regards to financing, I'm certainly happy to help you out. It doesn't have to be for our company that I'm answering the question for. And certainly I can always be reached at 973-917-2019. And I hope you have a great day.